Hello and welcome to Following On from talkSPORT. I'm Jon Norman alongside Steve Harmison, following on from just a crazy day of cricket. I mean, where do you begin? 3 sessions. First session featured 5 wickets, including 2 and 2 balls, a century from Ben Stokes, and the 5th highest score England have ever posted, 669. India 0 for 2 at lunch, and then 2 wicketless sessions where Rahul, who, by the way, faced his first ball with India 0 for 2, the opener, as did Shubman Gill, India's number 4. Rahul, 87 not out, and Shubman Gill, 78 not out. And the deficit now down to 137 when it had been 311. A little bit of weather forecast for day 5 as well. The chance that we may see Rishabh Pant bat again. We might see Jasprit Bumrah bowl again, you never know. And still, we don't know what's going to happen in a test match that we'd pretty much all given up on by lunch.
Yeah, given up. It's like it was a throwback to Barbados all over again, where me and Goffey were booking 2 days golf and then frantically cancelling it for the next sort of 45 minutes to an hour when the partnership started building with Rahul and Shubman Gill.
Shubman Gill, yeah.
I mean, it was so bizarre when the way that session ended to the way the next 2 sessions unfolded. So I think the day has to be, first and foremost, congratulated of Ben Stokes. He's done something that only 4 people have ever done, which is get 105 for as captain in a test match, and that's a monumental effort from the England captain. And I think we've seen the ramifications of that feat in the last 2 sessions, because he hasn't been able to bowl and he looks as though he's struggling badly. But I mean, for all the I think the disappointment from India and the way they bowled and the criticism that came in for the captain, I mean, that's an effort from Shubman Gill. That is a proper effort from Shubman Gill, because he has, he's probably walking off there with 20 minutes to go before the lunch break, and he is thinking, right, let's get me crash helmet ready, because by tonight they're going to be coming from everywhere. Current players, former players, fans, media,
Steve Harmison,
me, the lot would have been ready. Were ready for Shubman Gill. Within 2 balls, he's out in the middle, and I mean, well played. Really well played, Shubman Gill.
We're going to talk about all of this, but first off, can they do it? Can India get themselves out of this?
I think they can, and I think one of the reasons they can is because they haven't just tried to block and defend. They've getting some bad balls. They've put the bad balls away. And when we talked at lunchtime, and we talked about how do India get out of this? Well, the first thing they've got to do is make England bat again. And if every time, if they can get beyond the deficit, every run's worth double, and that is how they get out of this. There is some rain around early morning. They haven't, like we've mentioned 2 or 3 times. I never ever trust the forecast in England. And what you potentially
certainly
could have.
Don't rely on it.
Don't rely on it. So what we potentially could have, because we lose time, we don't make time up on a day 5. So if we do lose an hour, that's a chunk out of the game. There's 16 overs gone there. England are still they're still about 20 overs from the second new ball. So there's the best part of. So if you think that if you work in them equations, you go, they've got 20 overs till the second new ball. If we potentially lose an hour for rain, so that's just over a session and a bit, and then all you've got to do by that time, if you face them 20 overs, you'll be in a position where the deficit's only about 40 or 50. If you can then get past England, and you do well to get to a 50, 60, 70 run lead, then England won't have time to knock it off to finish the game. So all these little building blocks has got to happen for India to get out of it. But the answer, like I normally do, a long-winded roundabout answer, I think they can get out of it, but I think it's got to happen with this partnership, mind, because I was joking in the back of before I came on. It was like, England could get 5 wickets. England could have India 5 down tonight because Gill gets out, then Rahul gets out, and Pant's not coming in. It's Jadeja. All of a sudden, tired bodies there. The motion of roller coaster up and down of Test match cricket. Possibly a night watchman. Then the scoreboard looks a little bit different. So, there
is another factor in all this.
And Ben Stokes is a huge factor.
Stokes didn't bowl. Today.
No.
63 overs England bowled, and he didn't bowl. Not even an I'll just see if I can kind of over.
Yes.
That would be a concern. Not moving down. There's no point any conjecture further than tomorrow. But the fact that he didn't even bowl 1 over just to see suggests
He's got more than cramp. He's got more than cramp.
Yeah, he can't.
Yeah, he got more than cramp. There's a twinge in there.
If Stokes can't bowl tomorrow, then the task for England jumps 20-25%, I'd say.
I would say more.
Yeah, possibly more, yeah.
I would say
Maybe
more.
Makes it 40% more unlikely.
Yeah. Well, the way England have bowled so far in this series, Archer's probably got a spell on them first thing tomorrow morning. But do you want to give him that?
Do you want that
second new ball?
See, that's the other problem England will face. They're going to come out, and it's kind of that nether region, isn't it? The second new ball isn't quite close enough, so you'd feel I'll hold Archer back, and it's not quite so far away. Say 55 overs they'd bowled, or 50 overs, and you say, yeah, give Archer 3 or 4 in the morning, see if he can do anything, then hold him back. 63 overs. I mean, what would you give him 3 maybe? I mean, even then you're thinking.
I think what would probably be better is if you didn't start with him. I'm just going on previous experience of my body and where my body would be and how I would want to do this. I would probably say no, not straight away. I'd probably want to come on, if you're going to give me 3 overs, I'd probably come on 68 overs, bowl the 68 to 70th and the 72nd, then have a little bit of a break. But my body's not cooling down to a point of a standstill, and then I can't get them back going again. I want to give myself a position where the blood's still flowing and I'm still in the game. So if I go 60, if I bowl 64, 66, 68, all of a sudden there's 12 overs to the new ball. You're talking about a 50-minute period. That 50-minute period I can then seize up at mid on and mid off. If I go 68, 70, 72. In the overs in between, the 4 overs in between is only a 30-minute break because with the spin bowlers bowling, all of a sudden I'm still kind of moving, I'm still kind of fresh, and I can still keep it going. Then I have me 4 or 5 overs with the second new ball, and then hopefully, if we've got 2 or 3 wickets in that period between us, I've still got. Then I'm basically going on adrenaline to win the game further down the line at the end of session 2. So these are the things that honest bowlers talk to their captains about. You know, there's many times we'd sit and you'd sit with Michael and me and Matthew and Simon and Freddie, and you'd have a conversation and go, right, at what point how do we get through these next 17 overs? And some of us will say, right, give me a go now, I'm fine, I'm good to go. And some will say, look, let me have a couple just before the second new ball, so I'm ready to nail that second new ball when it comes, rather than take it when I'm tired and possibly have like 2 or 3 bad overs at the start, and then all of a sudden they get away from us and they get confidence with that second new ball, because the second new ball is what's going to win England the game.
It all felt so different, didn't it, in that first session? England overnight 544 for 7, so miles ahead. It was. I don't think we ever felt they'd declare, because it didn't really make sense to. They just want to bat once, and there's a lot of time left in the game. Maybe we'll look back at that and wonder, but that's hindsight. That's pure hindsight. I don't think anyone was really expecting them to declare. It would be different if they'd had Bashir at 11. But they had Archer and Cass at 10, who was last man out, trying to reach 50 for the second time in his career.
They're trying to win the game.
6. Yeah.
They're trying to win the game.
Exactly right. And Stokes, it wasn't the swashbuckling Stokes that we've seen, but I don't think his body's allowing him to play like that. But what a knock. First English captain to hit a century and take a fifer in a Test match. I mean, that in itself, that is an incredible feat. And every single time there's been questions about Stokes, he just doesn't really bother talking about it, does he? Just go and prove that I can do it, basically. Yeah. And you know, the last few tests, there have been a few questions about his form with the bat. Well, now we can stop talking about that, because he's hit 141, 5 for in first innings, and here we are. And then, of course, there was that incredible over from Chris Woakes. Was that enough to get him on the plane to Australia? Because again, there was a few questions, and he probably would go anyway. I think England are going to take an enlarged squad out there. But that was just a reminder that, you know, he is worth his place in this side. He's going to come under pressure. But those 2 wickets in 2 balls, and that was a dazzling session of cricket for England, wasn't it?
It was. I think he was always going to Australia. I think you have to carry him. I think if you were as a selection unit, I think out of respect for Chris, it's one of them ones where, like the Jimmy Anderson situation, if you're not going to take him to Australia, as soon as this Test match finished, you go and have a conversation with him. You sit him down and say, look, we're not going to take you to Australia, so over the course of the next 3 days, you might want to make a decision about the Oval in the last Test match you play. You know, you'll be playing at the Oval, and that will be your last one. It could end up happening that, because dropping somebody at 26 is not it's not a hard decision, because you know somebody at 26 is coming back. Dropping somebody at 36, you're ending their careers. And Chris Woakes has been so good to this team, so good to this country, and as somebody who I think England have relied on more than what other people give him credit for. So I think that's more of a decision rated on whether you think he can get you through them 5 tests, or be an influence in them 5 test matches in Australia. And if you don't, irrespective of them 2 deliveries that he got the wickets with and how he's performed here, that's for I think a conversation for the end of this Test match. He got off England to a great start, he really did, but there's some tiredness out there, and I'm loath to criticise tiredness, because I've been there many times before. When, I mean, you're trying your utmost best.
There's been a lot of overs bowled.
Overs bowled.
There's been 3 5-day Test matches on tired pitches. These have not been. No, no fast bowler in the world would want to play on these pitches.
I'm not saying they've been poor pitches, but they've been bad for fast bowlers. They've been poor for fast bowlers in overs and going to the well, and even the Liam Dawson catch. The circumstances to it.
Shiv McGill was on 46. The score was 74 for 2. Bryden Castle's bowling. He bowled a no ball, 2 no balls, I think, and so it was the final ball of the over, a long over, and Gill drove him and he sliced it to backward point and he put it down. He did.
And why I'm not going to stick up for him and say, because in international cricket he should have caught it. Right, he's not played anywhere near it's his first game in 8 years. And what he did was he had his cap off twice to give to the umpire. So he's walking to the umpire, give his cap, takes it off, puts it back, has to put it back on, goes back to his field position, takes it off again, gives it to the umpire. Oh, as we net now, because the TV does the no balls, it's another no ball. So that's twice that Liam Dawson's walk from in the ring towards the umpire to give him his cap, to think, right, what am I going to do with my first ball? Where am I going to bowl my first ball? And in that moment, in them sort of facets of play, he's then had to go and get his cap back, stand there, and he is probably, as I've just watched it again, I've just seen it again, he moved very, very late. And I think he's moved very, very late because he's probably thinking, right, I'm going back to give the cap to me, the umpire, and start bowling again. He's not for 1 minute expecting that ball to come to him. It's flown to him and he should have caught it. But these are little 1%ers, and the difference between playing at county level and playing at test level. If you're not on it every single ball and you're not there, sometimes it can go against you. And unfortunately for Liam in that situation, I think he was thinking more about bowling his next delivery as opposed to catching the ball and decompartmenting everything, starting again like a batter would. If somebody's bowling a good ball, he'd walk away, give himself a good talking to, and come back. Going out of the moment, going into the moment. That's always the hardest part about international cricket, and the difference between the good and the great. The good and the great can look forward to the next ball and not worry about what's happened before, and make sure when the time comes and the ball's about to be delivered or they're about to bowl that ball, they absolutely nail their skill set. And unfortunately for Liam, just got caught a little bit short.
Do you think we were a bit harsh on the Indian bowlers, having seen England bowl for two sessions without taking a wicket?
Not for one bit. Not for one bit. I mean, they were awful. I thought they were awful. I thought Cambodge was awful. I thought Dakor was anonymous. I thought Siraj at times was okay. He bowled 1 or 2 good overs out of 30. I thought Bumrah started the first 2 overs and his first 5 were right on the money, and then they were a bit too leg-sidey. I think in this situation, England have bowled better than India. And I think the boundaries they've scored off have been in areas where England, the side of the pitch that England have had fielders on. So they've pierced the field, where England had a lot of singles, and probably the detriment of England is because Root and Stokes had to run a lot, and largely down to the fact that they were bowled both sides of the wicket. They had no control whatsoever, and a game plan and structure and partnership. So no, I don't think that. I think England have bowled better than India. I just think Shubman Gill and Rahul, once you get in on this pitch, you can bat on this pitch. And I think once you do get in and you've got the discipline to play for your off stump, how many times have we said, did Rahul play at that? He didn't. He just left it. He played inside it. He played for his off stump. I think credit to the 2 Indian batters. They've played well. I don't think England bowled badly, but I did think India bowled badly.
If Rahul and Shubman Gill bat this out tomorrow, see off the second new ball, and India save this match, will their performance be up there with some of the great rearguard actions that we still go on about 30 years on, Atherton at Joburg and all of that?
100%. Oh, 100%. Because the beauty about others at Joburg, you look at Manners keeps bringing up ABWs who got 35 off 200 and odd balls. Others got 180. They batted. You played the game, shut the scoreboard off, didn't worry about knowing that, and still trying to score in a positive manner. That's how you're going to get out of trouble. So if these 2 guys do bat in the majority of the day tomorrow, yes, I think it'll be another tick in the box for this series of greatness, because we'll have seen another game go all 5 days, another game go right till the very end, and another game have high drama and have high quality, especially when the batting front. I did a bit for lunchtime on the TV, Ricky Ponton talking about that 2005 Ashes series, and we rightly said it's got nothing on 2005. It hasn't. But the batting in this series alone has been high quality. If these 2 guys go and do it tomorrow, and I think it will be about these 2 guys, because I think if England can break this partnership, I can see India crumble. I can see India falling over. I really can. I can. You've got these 2, and you've got Jadeja. And once that comes, I think the rest, because of the inexperience of them, I think England will have them under too much pressure. But like the India bowlers, they don't look like breaking this partnership.
Harmy, thank you for your time. We'll all be back tomorrow. There'll be a following on from day 5 for the 4th test in a row. All 3 sessions will be brought to you on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel overseas. Super Over will be up on the channel tonight, as we're following on. And for now, that's it. Thanks for joining us here on Following On.